this is management. And this is God's command. God asked us to mobilize resources that God has given to us. We use technology to domesticate that resource. You know, you have a stone. We talked about technology. Management and technology go together. What we do with technology is simply that we transform raw material, raw resource that have limited values. But when you domesticate it, when you build technology into it, all of a sudden the usefulness of that material multiplies. And that's what we do all the time. If you think about it, financial derivative, you know, we blame it. But when it is done right, what it does is that it amplifies and multiplies the usefulness of the financial resources we have. That's what leverage is all about. When it is done too much, right, it can be very dangerous. We are managing this world in which we live. By doing it, we are revealing His kingdom. That's what we should do, managers, the Christian managers. And that's what we do. Managers find themselves in this imperfect world, struggling to bring order through the grace that God has shown to us. And we tinker it. We play with it all the times until it works. That's what it is. We cannot deny the world in which we live, the city, is messy. God's garden was perfect, but the world we live is not. So what do? We need to fix it. Microsoft, Bill Gates need to constantly issue patches. And that's the reality. So there is a hope. Right? Book of Revelation said God does not bring His garden back, New Jerusalem, that's new artificial world. God redeems what we have built, and He is the master planner, and making it a gloriously perfect city. And in that process, in that long redemptive history, God invites us all to work with Him to make things better in this world. And then you think about certain Christian businessmen who would make really badly designed product, imitations, low quality, things break, and that person makes a lot of profit. This is hypothetical, so don't try to think of anyone real person. I'm not describing any real person. I'm just creating hypothetical extreme case. A faithful Christian businessman who goes to church, tithe, right, send money to missionaries, but his business really sucks. Makes a lot of money, but his product, you know, it's really badly designed. If you wear that cloth a few times, it makes holes. You know, it said, you know, you have two different people. You know, there was a ramen shop owner who really wants to make, in his whole life, want to make a perfect ramen to create perfectly happy customer each time he sells ramen, versus a business person who does not think about perfect product, perfect customer, but make a lot of money and then give money to the church. And God is looking at these two people from the heaven, looked down and asked, who do you think God likes better? The question that I'm asking you to think about. Anyway, one perfectly run company. These are like, you can have this desire because your own ego, because of your own self-interest. But if these things are given by God, prompted by Holy Spirit, what I call holy discontent. Why? Because we know that God has intended better. Right? Because all these wrong things we see here is because of sin. Unhappy consciousness. Right? Things can get better. And that will propel us to think about envisioning plausible, desirable alternative reality. I want to change. I want to change this world. I'm not happy, right? So I think good Christian businessmen are the ones who are incredibly unhappy, depressed, holy depression, right? You know, because it's not like what it can be, you know. But why there aren't enough Christians who are driven by that kind of passion to build better product, to build better service, to build better organization? And when you begin with a holy discontentment, if that dissatisfaction is prompted by your walk with God and prompted by Holy Spirit, because your understanding of the glory of God's kingdom, we should all go for it. So, how shall we live as Christians? Participating in God's creative, redemptive work with ideas and word. But the question is, how do we do that? We should serve with excellence. 3 problems that we have when we talk about excellence. First one is that in church, often being excellent is an opposite of being spiritual. We need to change that. You can be both excellent and spiritual. We need to change our mindset. Second, excellence against whom? We often think in the world, we need to redeem the world excellence. Because excellence is like Olympics. Who gets the gold medal? But in God's perspective, it is not. Matthew, parable of talents. Now, what is interesting there, the servant who got 2 talents and 5 talents gave 100% back. It's not comparing, oh, you have 2 and you have 5, you're more excellent. No, God's excellence is about what is your potential and how much you actually use it. 100%. I use 100% of my time going back. I'm hitting that at normal zone, right? In normal distribution, I'm hitting that zone. That's excellence in God. And the third excellence is not by effort, as I talked about. It's but by grace.